now with a look at what is ahead in those impeachment hearings is Washington Post national correspondent Philip Bump. Philip, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start broad picture here. We start these public hearings on Wednesday.
Right.
What are the Democrats hoping to get out of this? Because obviously we've started to see some of those transcripts from the closed-door hearings already.
Right. Well, I think what they're hoping to get here is to have these people speaking publicly, get it on television, have people in America be more broadly aware of what it is that they're saying, right? I mean, I think the question is, impeachment polling is sort of stagnant at this point. It was spiked after the inquiry began. It hasn't really changed much since then. Democrats really want to see that move. The question is, how will this be covered in conservative media in particular? Will it be aired regularly or not? I think that remains to be seen.
Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, has indicated that he may know a little something about Ukraine. And he's willing to testify, just as long as a judge orders him to do it.
Right.
What can we make of this, really?
Sure. I think we make a couple things of it. First of all, John Bolton, very much an institutionalist. He doesn't want to just go out there and say, I'm going to ignore executive privilege and adhere to what the House wants to do. He really does see this probably as a legal fight between these two branches of government, wants the courts to settle that. Of course he knows what happened, right? I mean, he was in the room for some of these meetings. He was the guy who was ostensibly in charge of what was happening from the White House's end on foreign policy. So there's certainly things that he knows, and that may actually influence the courts to say, you know what, executive privilege in this case doesn't even apply because this is so important.
But could he get immunity?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's any, I don't think there's any criminality that's suspected by Bolton. I think it certainly is the case, though, that he could offer a lot of insight into what actually happened.
He certainly is the key to all of this, or at least wants people to believe that he's the key to all of this. 8 depositions have been released so far. How is the public testimony going to be different than those 8 depositions?
That also remains to be seen, but I think there are 2 ways. The first is, since the depositions are already out there, the members of Congress who are interviewing folks will be much better prepared. They'll know exactly what to expect, what questions to ask to elicit more information. And I think the witnesses themselves will probably be a little bit more circumscribed. They'll be a little bit more nervous about offering their opinions because this is televised, because this is open, and I think it'll be a lot more contentious.
One of the names that we've seen besides Bolton, obviously, is Mick Mulvaney. We've seen his name a lot. He didn't show up for his deposition. What do we know, though, that he knows from other testimony right now?
All right, well, he's going to be an interesting case, and he actually, the Post reported this morning, he's joined that Bolton lawsuit, so he's going to wait and see what the courts say he has to do as well. He was very much implicated in the testimony that was released yesterday as having sort of directed Gordon Sondland, the EU ambassador, to take a lot of these actions. I'd be very interested, if he is forced to actually come and testify, whether he is very open about what he knows. I mean, he already admitted that there was a quid pro quo last month, essentially. Right.
Yep.
Or if he does this, I don't know, I don't remember, which is what Sondland did on the.
It'd be interesting to see Mulvaney and Bolton up there together.
It would.
Yeah, right.
It would be unlikely.
New daytime drama.
Philip Bump, thank you very much. Sure. A reminder, CBS News will bring you live coverage of the impeachment hearings and testimony on Wednesday and Friday morning.